I'm about to expose the 5 biggest mistakes that you're making with LinkedIn DM outreach. And even if you're making just one of these mistakes, it's costing you prospects to ghost you rather than beg you for your SMMA services. Now, you've probably seen agency owners like this, or this crushing it with LinkedIn DMs and are wondering if LinkedIn is just in their favor, if they got some sort of algorithm that's biasing towards them. That is definitely not the case, and it's also not your service as well. It's because of 94% of these agency owners making these fatal mistakes on LinkedIn DMs and they don't even know it. It simply marks them as an amateur rather than as a professional, let alone as a credible authority in their space. And to be completely transparent, it cost me months on end until I figured this out, that I was making these mistakes myself. Now here's a crazy part. Once I learned about these mistakes and of course improved on them and took care of them, my conversion rate, my reply rate went from 2% to 18%. And I started booking in 3-4 appointments every single day. What's even crazier is that these mistakes are super easy to fix. And the reason I'm making this video for you as an agency owner is because I'm on a mission to help thousands of agency owners, first off, leverage LinkedIn, know that LinkedIn works for their agency to acquire and capture more appointments, and ultimately scale your agency forward. So in the next 8 minutes, I'm gonna be sharing with you these 5 fatal mistakes that you're making on LinkedIn DM outreach that can make it worth it and help you scale your agency. Now, last week, I was reviewing dozens of agency owners that I've been helping with in DM outreach and also coaching them as well. I looked over thousands of LinkedIn DMs. And what I found really made my stomach turn to the point where I'm actually speaking in front of you live right here. And just to give you some background, if you don't know me, I've been helping agency owners through Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn DMs for the last 4 years, and also scaled my agency through DM outreach for the last 8 years. And through those years and using LinkedIn now, I've seen a lot of these fatal mistakes happen that can easily be prevented again. And before I actually dive into these 5 deadly mistakes, I need you to understand that LinkedIn, compared to Instagram and Facebook, even email, operate on completely set of rules because it's LinkedIn, it's a B2B platform, they require more verification, it's a different native. And by understanding that it's completely different, you need to know too that what works on Instagram and Facebook won't even help you on LinkedIn, it might actually hurt you. And so now it's time to whip out the remarkable. Shout out to Paulo and Chris for getting this for my birthday. So with number 1, the first mistake is a generic connection request. And here's why. This is the most common mistake I see, and it's killing your chances before you even get started pitching your service. So again, I reviewed hundreds of different types of connection requests from different agency owners and even different business owners. People saying cliche, honestly cringy, cheesy stuff like saying, "Hi, I'd like to connect," or "Hey, let's grow our network together." These generic requests to connect get ignored 90% of the time. Here's why it destroys your credibility. Successful business owners get around 20 to 50 different connections every single week. When yours looks exactly the same as everyone else, you're immediately a signal to them as a spammer. So the solution to that is simply personalize it just a bit and tell them why you want to connect with them and who you are. For example, Jesse Calalano, who's landing 10K deals in LinkedIn, his opening message is simple, yet effective. He's basically saying, "Hey, I noticed that we're both fitness coaches in this space, would love to connect and see if we can bounce ideas off each other." Pretty simple, yet personalized, and also has an affinity as to why they would even connect. But the second mistake is actually even worse because it might have you come off as desperate. And that mistake is sounding too salesy in your pitch on the first message. I saw one of my new clients' message before working with me. His message was saying, "Hey John, I see that you're a law firm and I'd like to get you 15 more appointments. Would you like a free strategy call?" Here's what's really happening. You're asking someone who doesn't even know you, like you, better yet, trust you yet, and you're asking for their most valuable asset, which is their time. So side note, if you are saying, "Hey, I can offer you a free audit on your website, on your SEO, on your Facebook ads," guess what? They're not going to click, they're not going to be interested in booking a call because you're taking away their number 1 asset, which is time and energy. You have to propose it in their incentive to help them reach their desired outcome. So what I like to say is saying, "Hey John, I see we're both in the law firm space. I've actually helped several law firms get an extra 10 to 15 new 18-wheeler cases just through my system alone through ads. Would you like to connect and see exactly how we're doing this for other law firms around the United States? Sounds conversational. It's simple enough to understand, and ultimately, it's in their best interest to understand it because they want those cases, their desired outcome. Which leads me to my third mistake that I see a lot of people make, that I used to make, and it's a lot more subtle. It is talking too much about yourself on LinkedIn. This goes for your profile too on LinkedIn, your bio and your about me. And ironically, your about me should not be about you. It should be about your niche and your client avatar and how you help them. I counted all my agency owners that I'm helping with in their profiles, and I see more I's and me's than you's and we's. You need to change that so it's all incentivized to helping your client avatar. Now, the fourth and fifth mistakes are what separate the amateurs from professionals, from I live in my mom's basement to I know exactly what I'm doing and I can help your business thrive and scale it and become successful. Mistake number 4, no clear next steps. I see so many vague and not specific call to actions, like let me know if you're interested or would love to chat sometime. This puts pressure on the prospect to figure out what to do next, even if they are interested in your service, even if they are interested in your offer. They don't know what to do next. I mean, to be quite casual and frank here, it's like asking a girl out to date and then she says yes, and you're like, okay, great. Would you like, what do you want to go? It's like, you ask the person, you make the plans. So what you ought to do is be specific and say, great, would love to have a quick chat with you and discuss more and potentially see how we can work together. And that word potentially is amazing. Now, you just simply drop your earliest 2 times that you're available for a 10-15 minute chat, make it a quick phone call, make it very convenient for them to see and intend how you can help them and see if you actually can work with them. Now, going to the last mistake, and it's probably the most dangerous, which I saved for the last one. And the reason why this is dangerous is because it could actually flag and get your LinkedIn account banned. And that's simply sending messages too fast. So if you recall when I said earlier in this video that LinkedIn performs on different set of rules than Instagram and Facebook, on Instagram and Facebook, you just simply get a little on the wrist. But when you do LinkedIn, they're literally taking you out of that game with a strike, no strike threes. It's literally strike one. So you got to be really careful. Now, the ironic thing is, Marcus, well, I want to send volume, right? Because volume is king. I literally say it in one of my videos. You can check it out. But the issue is that you can only send 20 to 30 messages, probably max, a day, and you have to space it out. Now, knowing you and most agency owners, we aren't just sitting around waiting to send 5 messages an hour during our workday. No. So what you need to do is leverage an automation tool like mine, where you can still send actually 100 connections a day, but on autopilot and automatically, but most importantly, safely, so your account doesn't get banned. If you want a link to that video, I'll link it down below and I'll put it right here at the end of this video so you can actually see how we're doing this at scale and safely and consistently. And those are the 5 deadliest mistakes that you are probably making on LinkedIn, costing you not just appointments, but from you actually succeeding and creating a growing agency. Those who are thriving on LinkedIn understand these 5 mistakes, and I've helped a lot of people solve it so that they can start landing 2-3 appointments every single day, but ultimately landing high quality clients on LinkedIn. Now, like I said a minute ago, if you realize that number 5, you're doing your LinkedIn manual DMs, you need to automate it and actually increase the amount at the same time. So if you actually are looking to scale your agency, highly recommend checking out that video where I talk about how to triple the amount of appointments and triple your DMs that you're getting. So the link is right here or down below. Go ahead and check it out.